The CNMI, where our regional correspondent, Tomas Manglotnya, is standing by live in the Zoom room. Good morning, Tomas.
Good morning, Bree, Chris, Jace, and Joe, sir. Today also the CNMI joins in the celebration of the Feast of the Immaculate Conception and also marks CNMI Constitution Day. The CNMI governor saying that over 4 decades ago, 39 leaders convened to develop the foundation of our government, beginning with the words of our preamble, "We the people of the Northern Mariana Islands." So happy Constitution Day to our CNMI viewers. And speaking of the Constitution, the CNMI Governor Ralph Torres is taking to Facebook with his second video in a series responding to the allegations by the House Committee investigating him. This time in this second video, he comments on several boating trips called into question, one trip in particular to the Northern Islands with YouTuber Rob Arrington behind the channel Deer Meat for Dinner. He says this is just an additional program that he brought up, Deer Meat for Dinner, to the Northern Islands to promote the Northern Islands. He said that Arrington spent over $100,000 of his own money to bring his crew, family, and equipment and so forth. And the CNMI spent about $70,000 to accommodate him while Arrington, like we said, spent over $100,000 of his own money. We wanted to share this clip from the interview that he did with local radio host Gary Sword addressing more of the allegations regarding his boating trips in the Northern Marianas.
Not once ever used any federal funding vessel, DPS vessel, for any recreation purposes. I've never fished on them. And that's me since I started this whole my governorship.
So these weren't party boats; they were providing protection for you and your family.
Absolutely no party boats, Gary, and it's just protection for the family.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever request DPS boating safety personnel to escort you on these boating trips? And are DPS vessels authorized by the grantor to be used for such purpose?
Gary, so first, I have never asked boating safety to give me protective service. We've been with the commissioner. He brought it upon himself to make sure that the Constitution, again, provides that services. So when occasionally he'll see me down at the boat, or if he hears that I'm gearing up, he will make sure that the vessel is ready for me and the family when I go off island or go out fishing. Occasionally, I have a 14-foot boat. I don't have a yacht. I have a 14-foot boat that occasionally I would take my kids, go out fishing within the reef, and they would be there also escorting me and making sure that if there's any emergency that they're there to provide safety again.
But they're not on a fishing excursion?
No, never. I've never, not once again, taken any of the vessel, no federal funded vessel at all to go fishing.
Has the First Lady Diane or your family members ever used the boating safety boats for transportation without you on board?
Again, here, Gary, the CNMI law provides safety for my family. Using the boat is for safety reasons.
Once again, the governor saying, "I have not once ever used any federally funded vessel for any recreation purposes. I've never fished on them," he said. The CNMI governor, of course, was subpoenaed over the weekend to appear before the House Committee investigating him Friday at 10:30 in the morning. It's unclear if he'll actually show up to that hearing. And I wanted to shift to some COVID-19 news for the Board of Education and our viewers who have students in the public school system. Yet again, another shift in decision. The CNMI Public School System's Board of Education unanimously voted to return to in-person instruction on January 3rd across its campuses. However, schools on Rhoda and Tinian can welcome students back to campus as early as next Monday, December 13, with the discretion of the Commissioner of Education. They ultimately passed the buck back to the Commissioner of Education, and the board remained in discussion about offering both face-to-face and asynchronous learning options at the same time, as well as including COVID-19 mental health issues or issues related to families impacted by the pandemic as reasons on a waiver for students in attendance. The decision came after an hours-long meeting Tuesday night. Board members expressed frustration about the sudden shuttering of schools and a transition to online learning following the CNMI governor's late announcement of new restrictions that take effect over the next 14 days. And Bray and Chris, around 9 o'clock this morning, we'll also be interviewing officials from the Aging Center who will be addressing some of the CNMI community's concerns that meal service deliveries are suspended for the Manamco here during the restrictions. We'll have more on that at 9 o'clock, and also at 1 o'clock today, we'll have a chance to chat with the federal teams who are on island to assist with vaccinations, but also train people here in the CNMI on how to administer the monoclonal antibody treatment. So we'll have that tonight on prime time as well. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you,
And
Tomas.
with your news in tomorrow, here's Kin Conception.
Buenas tardes, tiget sunto bitunod sa morgen ni KUAM News. Presenta ni Familian Mito gi First Hawaiian Bank. Manofisya zaman na fun matpagi Centers of Disease Control and Prevention sa manasuha guahan gigilistan adisiya na lugar no debi di mas kapazi sa puri COVID-19. Zaman maklasifika na 100 kilo na riskaw. Anok na mafatina sa adso na tinilay